Hey, it's me, Blake. I'm here along Lake Austin on what might be the most beautiful street in Austin, Texas, and what may be my most favorite place to be in Austin. We're here to meet one of my favorite agents whose name is Cathy Romano. Let's see. Oh, Cathy, there you are. Hi, I didn't see you there.
Blake, it seems to me that everyone is your favorite agent.
Well, so far, this is one of my first of my series of the videos, and everyone I'm choosing are my favorite agents. I need
Okay,
to be
thank
careful
you.
to keep you in the frame. I'm sorry. So I'm a little higher here.
And you're on my favorite street, and I'm a little biased because I think it's the best street in all of Austin.
Well, you live here in this community, so you know this street well.
Very well.
And you're specializing really in this community, and you have the sales to back that up.
Yes.
And I've been walking with you just out around the neighborhood today, and there have been multiple people who have walked up to you to say hello. And there was one couple that even said, "Oh my God, that marketing piece I got from you was amazing." So congratulations on having really superior marketing.
Well, first of all, I did not pay that couple to kayak by our dock today to tell you that, but I try to keep the neighbors uh, in tune with what's going on, not only in the market, but I do deliver the Rivercrest directory. So I'm up to all the new residents, their phone numbers, their email. So I'm the go-to person at our walking neighborhood directory, me.
Well, that is awesome. When I grow up and I have a couple extra $1 million, I am going to be your neighbor here because this place is just, well, as they say, to die for. But let's talk about you a little bit. Tell me about who you are, Cathy. Tell me, let's start with, what did you do before real estate? Because all of us in real estate came from somewhere else for the most part. What was your previous life?
Listen, what I like to brag about the most is the fact that I was a college athlete.
Really?
Way back when, so far back that I was the recipient of one of the first Title IX checks. And so,
What was the sport?
tennis.
I knew that. I just wanted to have you say it out loud.
And that $98 check set, the rest is history, as they say. But that competitive edge in tennis, I think, has really helped me in real estate in so many ways.
Well, so you're a competitive person overall then, right?
Oh yeah, and everyone that knows me would tell you that in a good way, I think. Right?
How do you deal with competition and fellow agents?
I try to be kind. An old agent once told me that, Cathy, make sure that buyer's agent is your best friend
That's great
through
advice.
the entire transaction. And so I have remembered that, and I try to heed to it.
So many newer agents are unfriendly. They get in the business and they're competitive, but they're not competitive with the handshake after the loss. They're competitive with some anger. So I love the idea that you need to be competitive, which we all are as agents, sales, but you also have to have your best friends.
Yep. And I like people, and I think that's what attracted me to this business. But there was a big gap in my working career because my best job actually was raising 3 children. And because I was able to stay home with them, I got to do things like put in a nature trail at the elementary school and
That's
host
awesome.
parties and be the team mom. And so that time you can never get back. And I'm so fortunate that to Bob, actually, he was with IBM. That's what brought us here.
And Bob is your husband, right?
Bob is my husband, my UTM, unlicensed team member. I think it stands for Ultimate Tea Time Maker because he likes to golf a lot. But he is helping me with marketing, and he puts signs up for me and takes them down. So I try to keep him busy.
Hopefully you pay him a lot for his hard work.
Oh, yes. Okay, are you feeling those pecans that we're stepping on?
Right, so we are in, I guess, Pecan Central. They're all over the street. They're falling on our heads. So tell me about the pecans we have growing here.
All right, well, this street, back in the 30s, this was nothing. It was fields with wild animals and wild turkeys and copperheads. And it was the wild, wild west. And the Bone family discovered it. And this was coming here from downtown Austin was like a half a day travel.
By horse? This is when you first moved here? It was horse and buggy?
Horse and buggy.
Right.
We had to walk 20 miles both ways to the, what's that old saying? But
anyway, snow and mud.
Through the snow and mud. But the Bone family discovered this piece of land along the river. And Mr. Bone, Walter Bone, decided our family needs an escape from the city. They own Brothers clothing store. So they would come here every weekend. And then they thought, okay, there's a few pecan trees. Let's plant more. So this became a project for them with their pecan trees. And there's 10 different kinds. So if you look, some have these big nuts, some have small nuts, but there's a variety of them. And they actually spliced them and created their own variety of pecan trees. And then they lined our street with them.
So it's really nice that you have this very unique thing to where you live that's shared by all the neighbors, the pecans. So you're on the pecan road in many respects.
Yes, we're in the pecan grove
Pecan Grove.
on Lake Austin. So even the Chautauqua movement would come along the shores of Lake Austin and come up in the fields and have their educational meetings here. So there is so much history on this street in this area. And then it became discovered, right?
Well, it's clearly been discovered because lots of construction. And again, just a fantastic location. Taking a step back
Okay.
to pre-real estate. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
Literally.
That's a first.
Okay.
Okay, let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Not literally, just walking forward with us. Tell me again, before real estate, you mentioned the part being about tennis in college,
Tennis,
and then
mother of three.
mother of three, which is so important. And then what else were you doing that helped kind of build your skill set for real estate?
You know, I sold promotional products.
Tchotchkes.
Trinkets and trash, as Bob would call them, and I had a great time doing that. Livestrong, I had some big clients, Polycom, Livestrong, Austin Java, and that job was fun. It kind of sparked the sales and the competitiveness in me that was dormant for a little while, raising the kids, so I totally enjoyed that. And then the company kind of unfolded, and my boss decided to do something different. So then I decided I'm going to write a book. And I noticed
Tell me about that book.
that book, see, I wear many hats, and that was a hat I put on and took off quickly. But I interviewed women for 2 years about their dating experiences, because this is when the internet dating was just coming upon us. It was a new thing.
And in 10 words or less, what was the result of that survey? What did the women say overall?
Stay married if you can.
That was the advice, really?
No, listen, the advice was, before you start dating, know yourself and be happy with who you are. Because the disastrous dates were the ones where women tried to date too quickly, they were too desperate, and they were too trusting. It's like a process.
I
That
agree.
you need to, you need to meet in person. Oh, you're welcome, Susie.
Another neighbor going by to say hello and to thank you. Just awesome. It's amazing. You pick your pronoun, king or queen, whichever you like to.
I'm the ambassador. Just
The
like
ambassador.
McConaughey is the ambassador of the UT football team or whatever, of basketball. I'm the ambassador of Rivercrest, but I've lived here 31 years.
Okay, 31 years in this neighborhood.
Yes.
Okay, I know that before you lived in Austin, you lived somewhere special. Where was that?
It was very special. It was the south of France,
Really?
in a little town. That guy needs new brakes. I hope they work. He's coming right at it. That was a little town called Torret-sur-Loup. And Bob took an international assignment with IBM, and we jumped on it. Now, I was a stockbroker at the time. Oh, wait a minute. That's another
You were also
hat.
a stockbroker, yeah.
Forgot to tell you
That's
that.
your third or fourth hat, yeah.
That was 6 years of being a stockbroker in Boca Raton, Florida. Again, tapping into my competitive nature, and I love the people, and I love that about real estate too. It's the people that you meet in all industries that make it different. It's never boring, and everyone's unique. So you have to remember that dealing with people.
Well, you also reminded me that you grew up, I think, in Washington, right? Washington State?
Seattle. Bob and I born and raised in Seattle.
Okay. So we have Seattle to Europe.
Seattle, Portland, Oregon, Boca Raton, Florida.
Yeah.
Stay with me here, Blake.
I'm trying.
South of France, Torret-sur-Loup, right above Nice in the Riviera. And then IBM said, okay, you got two choices, Detroit, Michigan, or Austin, Texas.
And 30 years ago, that's a hard choice, actually.
Well, I didn't know, and Bob's boss from here called me and said, "You guys have got to come to Austin." And I said, "Frank, but we already live in a foreign country. I don't know anything about Texas." And
And it's Texas, for God's sake.
and so we chose Austin, and I'm glad we did. And we thought we'd be here 2 years, like the other assignments, right?
Right?
But we just loved how friendly people were, especially, I think Austin is especially friendly. Even with all the growth here, it's just got a great vibe. And then the kids, of course, are in the best school district, in my opinion, and it just feels like home. I can't really see us ever leaving here.
Well, I hope not, because again, you are really one of my favorite agents. And if you were to leave here, it would break my heart. So please.
Because you want to come fishing on the dock.
Well, I do have an
You can-
ulterior motive.
can
I do
still
want to
do
take
that.
my son fishing on your dock. So
You can do that anytime.
that is a truthism.
Yeah.
Okay, on the real estate front, let's take a jump forward.
Okay.
You are super successful. That step back again. Stop being so literal.
Okay.
Um, so you have done really well in this market. You've become a prominent figure in the Lake Austin community for real estate and for other things we'll talk about in a moment.
Okay.
But tell me about your clients and what do you love about real estate?
I love, just like when I was doing the research for the dating book, I love being a matchmaker. It gives me great joy to find a house for someone to make that match between a buyer and a seller and to share in that joy with them. I know that sounds kind of hokey, but it's true. It just makes me feel so good when you just have the perfect matchup. I think in all my transactions, I've had one client that wasn't happy with where she bought. And I'm telling you, she's happy now, but she wasn't at
Okay.
first. So it's my mission to find just the perfect match between the buyer and seller. And that's, I don't know.
Okay, a question I tend to ask a lot of agents: what's your superpower in real estate? Do you have a superpower, or do you have a special skill that you pull out of your arsenal when you need it that makes you
Superpower.
different than the average agent?
You know what? I think what comes across in all my testimonials is I communicate really well in all different means, and there gets to be a point in every transaction where you just have to pick up the phone. And I realize sometimes with younger agents, they don't want to call. They don't want to
They
talk.
want to text.
They want to text.
Yeah.
But there's just a time in a transaction when you got to either go to someone's house. And what I do when I do get an offer, I go meet the couple in person.
So that face-to-face time is so important. I agree.
It's so important. And I've actually gotten clients in this past year when they said their other agent who was recommended to them never responded to their texts, never called them, never. So I thought, okay, well, I got that down. That's what, but I think we owe that to people. If they're going to hire us to do a job for them, we've got to keep them in the loop, even if it's painful.
Well, this is a communication business. Everything about it is communicating between agents, between clients, between lenders. It's all communication. If you don't do it well, you're not going to do well in this business.
Yes. And I think the other thing I do is nothing is beneath me, which some agents would argue with. Well, you shouldn't be, raking up those leaves in the backyard. You shouldn't be. I do whatever it takes to make the client happy and to do my job and get a house bought or sold.
Well, that is awesome. So in our last minute of our walk, because we're headed towards a gate right now.
Oh, I know the code. I know who lives there.
Anyone special?
Yes, really special. He's my what's it called?
Gastroenterologist.
I just had a doctor's appointment with him last week.
I didn't say it right. Well, we can turn slowly and walk this way a little bit and kind of wind things up naturally.
Okay.
But
bye, Dr. Ellis.
Bye, Dr. Ellis. So in your years to come.
Years to come.
Well, this is the great thing about real estate. You can be a realtor into your 80s easily if one wants to. If they don't feel like retiring, and there's no reason not to keep one's license active. You can continue on to the day they carry you out in a pine box.
True.
What do you see in your future in real estate? What are your goals in the next couple of years for real estate?
Well, goals, that's a good question. I want to find a really good balance, and to me, the best realtors have a good balance in their lives. And this year, especially, I got back into golf. I put a lot of things on hold, Blake, and it was stressing me out a little. And I thought, I've got to get back, tap into the things. You know, they're not exclusive of one another. You can be a good realtor and
So balance. So
balance, have
right.
better time management. So I'm still having fun. And as long as I'm still having fun, and I continue to get referral clients, and I love the marketing aspect of the job, and I love all the Compass tools that make me look so good. You know, I'm going to keep doing it because Compass has made it easy for me to
I
do.
love that you're adding the Compass plug. Thank you.
You're welcome. He didn't pay me to say that.
I didn't. I'm not paid.
So anyway, as long as it's still having fun, and as long as I'm still having fun and can do a good job for my clients and take good care of myself, thanks to Dr. Ellis and others, where, you know, I'm going to be healthy enough to do this without getting stressed out. Because I'm sure you and I have both know agents where their health has suffered.
Well, it's not a balanced life. You're right.
It's
You
not a
need a
balance.
balance.
You got to keep a balance, and I think it's a good thing. I've got a daughter getting married next September.
Congratulations.
Thank you. She's only been dating Peter for 11 years, so we know they haven't rushed into it.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. But I want to be present for her to go through that whole process. And I think I'll be able to. You know, I'm trying to find a partner that I can work with. I've been doing this as a lone wolf for a while because, frankly, it's hard to find someone with your same work ethic.
That's true. But so for the years ahead, you're looking for a partner.
Yes.
So that's what we're putting out to the universe right now. To those watching
Yes.
this video, if you know of somebody or yourself who might be looking for a partner, give Cathy a call.
Yes. And my number?
I'll put
If
that on
you
the screen.
like.
You can say it, but
Okay.
I'll also add it to the screen.
512-627-4849.
So in our rounding this out, Cathy, anything you want to say in closing? Anything important? You, by the way, have a ladybug on your shirt, on your sweater collar right now.
Oh my gosh,
So,
that means I'm going to have a really good tennis match this afternoon.
or
Don't steal it from me. Where is it?
it's now it's gone. But it was there, so you still have the luck coming your way.
What I would say in summation about real estate, about life, or about walking on this beautiful street in Austin, Texas.
All three quickly.
I feel blessed, and I have a lot of people to thank for that. One of whom is you, Blake, for being such a great manager.
Thank you.
And to be always there when I've had some interesting things come
You and
up.
I have great chats, and I really appreciate that.
Yes, I'll always be here for you, and you're always there for me. So, Rivercrest, it's not just a neighborhood, it's family.
It's a lifestyle, right?
It's a lifestyle, and I enjoy every day of it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and so glad you were able to go around the block, or down the street in this case, with Blake.
Anytime, Blake. Thanks for asking me.
Take care.